surrender. Okay, so in the context of war and battle, to surrender means to agree to stop fighting each other. So and it's usually because defeat is near. What does that mean? Because defeat is near. Olivia.
Like you're about to. So
Yeah.
You know you're going to lose and you don't want to lose anymore.
Exactly. Like you are going to sacrifice, a win because you might be sacrificing people because you're going to lose, and you might just stop fighting so that no more people are lost, right? Okay. So surrender is the key focus of today because that's what happens at Appomattox Courthouse, all right? This second kind of group of terms is armistice. If you ever see this word, it essentially is very similar to surrender. It means to halt fighting, halt the use of weaponry, okay, to agree to stop the attacks, to stop the battle, to stop the war. Okay, so armistice is a similar term. And then if you see the word like armistice terms or terms of surrender, those are the agreements that were made between the two parties that were battling or warring or fighting. So just like treaties, what are treaties between two nations during a war? What's a treaty? Arlo?
When you're in a war, it's like a peace agreement.
It's a peace agreement, right?
Compromise, and you both probably get something that you were fighting for, like equally split.
Yeah, so exactly. So a treaty ends a war between two nations, right? And a treaty is usually these peace agreements, right? A compromises. So surrender terms or terms of surrender is a very similar thing, but here it's not a treaty because it's not two nations fighting against each other, and it's also related to one group against each other. So yeah, any other questions or comments? Yes, Lily.
What's different from armistice and surrender?
What's the difference between armistice and surrender? Armistice is, let me look up the exact. I will answer your question in a little bit. Okay, I don't know the exact differences, but they're basically synonymous. Yes.
Also for treaties, like there also like a document that has both of the leaders of both nations signed. So like announce that they have it.
Yes, exactly. So this terms of surrender, you guys will find out the terms of surrender are going to be signed by our two commanding generals, are Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee. So it's the official agreement that ends a war or battle, and it includes the rules that both sides agree to follow afterward. And at Appomattox, it's Grant and Lee deciding together, and Grant's terms were considered generous to the Confederate soldiers and troops, and the Confederate soldiers were allowed to go home peacefully. So instead of keeping them as prisoners who could be deemed like treasonous, rebelling against the United States government is essentially what they were doing. But instead of being kept captive as traitors, they were allowed to go home peacefully. Okay? Yes, Olivia.
Do treaties have names, or are they just called treaties?
Oh, treaties have names. Remember, we've learned Treaty of Paris, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But this is not a treaty. That was just an example of like something that this is similar to. Terms of surrender is not necessarily a treaty, but there are similar concepts. Yes.
So a treaty is between two nations, right? And then Abraham Lincoln didn't want to use them as a new nation because.
Right. So they're not going to sign any.
This is not admitting them as a different nation. This is just like a let's stop fighting sort of an agreement.
Yes, exactly. So the terms of surrender is like, because they are surrendering, what terms are they going to agree upon after they stop fighting? Like, what is going to happen after they stop fighting? Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, and then last but not least, Appomattox Courthouse is very misleading, okay? It's actually a small village in Virginia where, on April 9th, 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant, effectively ending the Civil War. So, despite the name, it is not a courthouse. It is a town. It is a village in Virginia. So it really sounds like it sounds like a building that they're meeting at, but it's actually the name of the village. Okay? No. This is more an event. This is less so a battle, more an event. All right? So those are the three things you're going to encounter when you do your research today. Any questions? main article in the inside of your Studies Weekly magazine. All right. Number 2, option 2, you can use the Civil War ebook that is linked on Canvas. It's in that slideshow of ebooks, and it's the one that's titled Civil War: The Final Years, and the chapter you want to look at is Surrender at Appomattox. That's linked on that Canvas slideshow. And then last but not least, sorry, this needs to be updated. There is a video that I have linked on Google Classroom, so you will need your Chromebook and headphones if you would like to do that. And then as you learn, I would like you to add your information to your note taker, and we will check back in once people have taken their notes on their note taker. Okay? Sujan, is there an emergency?
I mean, no, not right now.
Okay, you may use restroom. Does anybody have questions on what they're doing? You can use one or multiple, but those are your 3 options of getting information for Appomattox Courthouse to add to your note taker. Any questions? Any questions? All right, I'll let you loose. Okay. If you want to work with a partner, you may also work with a partner if you'd like to. But if you're watching the video, you might want to do that independently first, and then go ahead and work with a partner. Does that make sense? So again, also that goes with like reading the article. You might want to read on your own first, and then you can work with a partner. Yes. Right? Does that make more sense? It's still the result, right? The result of this event.
Can I say that? Wait, is the
That didn't come until, we're going to talk about that. That didn't officially come until there was an amendment added to the Constitution, and that was the 13th Amendment. Don't worry, we'll discuss it. It's like post-war, and after we're done with our project, we'll move on to the effects of the Civil War and the Reconstruction.
Yeah, no,
which happens
you're
after. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah. And make sure if you're watching the video, watch it on your own at first, use headphones, and then you can discuss with other people, okay?
when did it end like that?
Do we need to check in your binder? Do you want me to go ahead and get it for you? Wherever you, right here, okay. Try to look a little harder for your Bible. Yes. Yeah, but on this, I mean, I guess. But for this one, you don't. What's better, pancakes or you just put pancakes? It's definitely pancakes.
Well, actually, waffles.
Hey friends, I only want to hear on topic conversation if you're working together, and that does not include pancakes. So please and Afi, it looks like they're watching the video first. So you should choose a method to learn individually first, and then you can work with them, okay?
Mustard.
More people need to All right, remember, if you're using an article, read the article independently and then work together, okay? Okay. Oh, you're leaving, buddy? Okay, can you get out the door? Hey, Elliot, could you move your feet a little so camera can out? Thank you so much. Bye, Cameron. I'll see you later.
Bye, Cameron. Bye, Cameron.
No, please use headphones. No, it sounds like he's checking out.
On Tuesday,
Yes.
I think I'm getting things up early. I don't know if it's this class or Mercedes' class, but I'm getting it.
Okay, we're just going to be working on the project, so thank you for letting me know. I should be all right, okay, Gabby? You shouldn't miss much.
You watch the video? Gabrielle, you watch the video? I'll do the article. And John will also watch the video and we'll all like the Where did you watch it?
It's on Google Classroom.
Oh. Is it?
Yeah, the video's on Google Classroom. Yes, darling? Yeah? Yeah?
How come we know so much about rehab of surrender, but that was only the northern Virginia army? That wasn't the entire.
Oh, that's a really good question, Elias. Well, it kind of, this surrender at Appomattox Courthouse is, it set the precedent for the rest of the surrenders. So you're right. This is not like the entire Confederacy surrender to the entire Union because they're not all at the same place, right? They're all separated, fighting their own battles. But this was a major surrender, and remember, there's the two commanding generals of the side, and so they still has been for the rest of the generals.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Those are also the If you use one method to learn, like you're using the Studies Weekly article, and then you end up finishing all of your notes, you can always go and look at the video as well if you want to get more details there, or just have a different way to learn about it, okay?
Some happened, but it definitely had a hold of it.
July 3rd. Somebody, wait, yeah, what date? Like what? April 9th, what? 18th. I would say historical important.
And then when did it end?
One of the 10 weeks.
When did it end? When did it start? It started and ended on April 19th.
Yeah, this one you don't necessarily need to start, and they can just one day.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're on the right track on it. Well, so William McLean was the house it was in his color.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, that is one that was nice for Carter, yes. But Carter, I think it's actually maybe like when they used to sit and like have tea or drink.
Wait, no, it might be. Oh, like it was
It's a part of the house. It's an old term that people used to use. You don't have, we don't use the same term to describe parts of the house anymore.
So it's where you would drink.
Like tea or lemonade or something.
Did you guys just
Yes, I mean all of those. Yes, all of those on the sheets are
Just say your parlor.
No, Olivia's.
William McLean.
It was
It's also
a
in
theater.
the.
There were no theaters.
There were
It was way down in
Yes, grandly. And if you guys need to support the video with this article, you can as well. Because the article has some really good details and you can't remember the video, okay?
We don't have good lighting. Please find I know it wasn't a that's what it was. Oh, you're me? You're me. It was one of
get some important facts down? Is that what you guys are working on now?
Yeah, they're watching the video.
Okay.
When did the Battle of Gettysburg end?
Oh wait.
No.
Well, Vicksburg was actually more like Vicksburg. Well, not more like it
No
was.
way, that's what you're saying. No, that's not.
And it was from May 18th to July 4th.
Oh wait,
1863. Yeah, so you were almost there. You had it. You know, just didn't know the starting date. Because the siege took, it was a month long of the Union soldiers bombarding